What's up, my people? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, I just finished taking my hair down. I had started making a video while I was taking my hair down, but I have King with me. So I was outside fighting the mosquitoes and trying to watch King and trying to make a video, and it wasn't working. But I wanted to let you guys know, so I gone out of town. If y'all saw my video, my previous video, like it was more like a short. My daughter, finished. Okay, I don't want to say she finished college because there's still more to come. But she walked across the stage, and when I tell you, that was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience for me. Oh, Bree. Tyra Johnson. I would say this. What happened is she went to college right out of high school, because I was that parent that pushed it. And I can honestly say this. It's not for everybody. College is not for everybody. But I pushed it because, we are pretty much like a double minority. We're black and we're women, and I push education with my girls so much because I've explained to them that it's not necessarily that it will guarantee you a job, but it will guarantee you options. And I would say that. And even the job that you want, whatever your profession is and whatever you went to school, whatever you go into school for, you might not get rich, put it like that, from it. But your degree and the paper and your certifications, it gives you options. And that's the thing. I remember a long time ago when I got out of I was still in college, and another one of my brothers, he had a full ride scholarship, for playing football. And he just didn't want to follow the rules. And I was always on his case about going back to school, and he told me that he didn't want to go back to school because he was like, but you know what? You in debt going to school. You went to college and you still in debt. You still paying off your school loans. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. But the thing about it is like, why not? If you have to, if you have to take out a school loan, why not? We take out loans to buy cars. We take out loans to buy homes. And so why not go ahead? And if you have to pay a little bit of money back to get your education, why not? And that's just how I see it. And I know that everyone is not going to agree, but that's how I feel. And that's how I feel. Because my parents instilled in me, to just always try to be the greatest at whatever it is that you do. Whatever you set your mind to. And, I went to college myself. And am I a millionaire? No. Not by far, you feel me? But the thing about it is, I know that if I left my job today, if I decided I don't want to work, I'm getting ready to get my stuff, I'm getting ready to pack up, I'm getting ready to go. Right now, where I am in life, because of my work experience and my education, I can find something in no time. That's just how I feel. Not saying that I'm like, oh, that, it's just, it gives you options. So, she went right after high school and she had a boyfriend and he wasn't doing shit with his life, And the thing about it is she was just so caught up in, I want to be with him and, and now she's staying out late to hang out with him, and she felt I had too many rules. And she came to me the second year to let me know that she wasn't going back to school. I was devastated. When I tell you devastated, I was devastated. But let me hurry up and make this long story short. So I will never forget. I can remember just like it was yesterday. We were living in Alabama, and I was sitting in my room on the bed, and she came in there and sat foot in my bed and told me that she wasn't going back to school. And I was devastated because I told her, I said, I asked her why. Tell me why. I'm that parent that I will support you in anything that you do as long as I understand, And the thing about it is, she say, well, I want to work and I want to do this, and with my schedule, I can't do this and I can't do that. And I was like, you can. And she was like, well, no, I just don't want to go back because I want to take a break and I want to do this, And it's like, I'm in love. And I'm like, okay. But what I told her was that you can still work and go to school. If you want to work and you want to go to school and you want to be out on your own and do all of this, you can do it. I told her, I said, look, I did it. I already had a child when I did it. Mm-hmm. I worked a full-time job. I had a little part-time job. And I went to school full-time. And I told her, so it can be done. And you know what she told me? She said, I'm not you. And I had to respect that. But I wanted her to understand that it can be done. But, I had to accept the fact that she decided she didn't want to go back to school. And I kept telling her, I say, I'm just concerned because what happens is sometimes you get comfortable in making money. And then what if a kid comes into play? What if a child comes into play in this whole thing? And then you get so comfortable with, let me work to provide. And then your time won't permit. And I was just explaining to her, like, look, I did this, but I had a child. I could have done it a whole lot differently if I didn't. No regrets, but I did it with a baby, And what happened, let's fast forward years later. She was dating somebody. And he was a provider, and I remember him telling me she don't have to go to work, and where she was working at, I didn't necessarily approve anyway. I will let her disclose all that one day, but where she was working at, I didn't approve, but hey, it is what it is. You do what you gotta do, sis, and it is what it is, right? But I told her, I said, let me tell you something. You're in a situation, and this man is saying you don't have to work, and he gonna provide for you. He gonna take care of you. And I'll never forget the day I sat there and I talked to him, and I told him, I said, well, look, if you're gonna do all of this for her, all I ask is that she go to school. I said, you know what? If she ain't gotta work and you gonna provide for her and you gonna take care of her child, let her go to school. And I heard she enrolled for school, y'all. I was so happy. Her major had changed. And and it was a good major, nursing. And I was happy. And I'm still happy for her. And the thing about it is, like, this child of mine, she has overcame so many different obstacles in life. Number one, she was diagnosed with diabetes I say 11, she always say 12. So at 12, and that's not easy, to know that your child is in a coma. And, at this time, she wasn't even in the States, and it's just one of those things to where I always knew when that happened with her, she was going to be strong, she was going to be tough, and she was going to be able to endure and take on whatever obstacles that life would bring to her, right? And the juvenile diabetes, if y'all don't understand what it is, you know, with her type of diabetes, she is completely insulin dependent. And what happens is they say that the teenage years are going to be the worst years. And it was. It would be days that I go in there and I check on my child and she's sleeping. She's sleeping. She's been sleeping for so long. You stand to that door and you wait. And you wait and you wait to see if you see them. If I see her breathing. We even had learned the mirror technique. I know my baby girl had learned the mirror technique to go put the mirror in front of her to make sure she breathing. And then you start, you know, we got so much to the point to where we put her on the pump, you know. And then I start noticing sometime I see the hidden candy wrappers, the hidden potato chip bags, empty ones, you know. And I say all of that to say that she is used to adversities and she's used to having to overcome certain trials in life. And it took her a little bit of time. Like, you know, she's 27. And it took her a little bit of time to get to where she is now. But what I want to say to her is that this is what makes you a woman. Overcoming the trials and tribulations and the adversities and all of that, it makes you that person. It makes you appreciate your accomplishments, whether big or small. If it's an accomplishment, it's an accomplishment. And it was so funny that I was watching B-Love's channel today, and he said something to the extent of forgive your parents, you know, like forgive and forgive. Forgive what they did when they were younger. They were young, they ain't know no better, and that is me.
Go on. Y'all kids, forgive y'all parents what they do when they're younger, because they make mistakes. They make mistakes. But don't hold on to that. Keep it moving. Forgive and forget and live your life with your family. It's a blessing.
That is me and her. Me and her relationship. I told y'all on the previous video, maybe 2-3 days ago, that, you know, I had her when I was very young. I was still in high school. So I always tell people we grew up together. You know, and I might not have did the things that I should have been doing as a parent. But I did the best that I knew how at the moment. You feel me? And, you know, it was interesting, you know, to see. I was like, you know what, it took her some time and she got here. And I told my baby during that same live, I'm going to be to your graduation. If a snowstorm come and if I got to walk there in flip-flops, I'm going to get there. And I did, and I got there. I got there, baby, and I got there a few minutes before time, about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's funny, so when it was time for the graduates to walk through, what they call it? Is that the procession? I'm not quite certain what the terminology is for it, right? So when they walking in, they playing the music. I'm looking for my baby. I'm looking for my baby. I'm looking for my baby. And I finally find her. And it's interesting, you know, y'all. She the one with the little blonde wavy hair, the little wheat color blonde, right? That's my baby, yes. So, okay. If y'all can see in the video that I posted the other day, I was like, oh, I wish she look over here. I wish she look over here because I'm here. I want her to know I'm here. And, you know, finally, she started waving. And I was like, oh, she know I'm here. She was looking for her mama. She knew her mama was coming. She knew her mama was going to be there. Because I did not get there early enough to let her know that I was there. But I got there in time enough to be able to get me a seat before everything started. So it was funny. I'm scrolling on her Facebook page, and the videos that she posted, it was interesting. I'm going to post it. Y'all listen. She says, "Where's my mommy? Where's my mommy?" I know. I'm trying not to be. Where's my mommy? Yeah. She knew I was going to be there. I wasn't going to miss it for the world. That was my baby. She's not the baby girl. She's the baby. Like I told y'all. I have 2 girls. And out of the 2, she the biggest baby I got. I'll say that. She is like everything her mama. That's the thing. And, you know, I talk about it. I've talked about it a few times, how I gave birth to my 2 best friends. And, you know, the Lord blessed me with 2 girls, because he was like, you know what, Melissa, I gave you this one a little bit earlier than expected. But I need to groom you. And then, almost 9 years later, I got the next one. Got me 2 girls. And my mom used to always be like, oh, you need to experience what I experienced with you, girl. You know, he gave it to me double time. Okay? They night and day. But a headache within the same. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It's like, what I've experienced with my daughters have made me who I am today. And, you know, their father, you know, the man in their life. I mentioned that, you know, in my other video, I mentioned that I got married when I was 16. And, you know, that one didn't last as long. So then I met someone else. I met D. When my baby girl was a little over a year. And that was my best friend until the day he left this earth, you know? And it's just one of those things to where it's like, I'm so proud. And whenever stuff happens, I get so emotional. I just get so emotional about things. I didn't even think I was going to be that emotional with her walking across the stage. No story. And, you know, then I got to thinking, I'm like, oh, in a couple years, I'll be doing this with the other one. And I'm proud of her, y'all. And I just, and you know, going back to the situation when I was talking about Beloved was with her dad, I enjoyed that video. I don't know how far apart they are in distance, Beloved and her dad, but I would love to see him in video again. But I enjoyed it. And, you know, and just him speaking. And, you know, and honestly, it was funny. It was like, you know, I watched Adrian, I watched Walt. Now, I don't watch the other siblings, but I was like, OMG. Adrian and her dad look just alike. And then listening to her dad talk, I was like, oh my goodness. There's Walt. There's Walt all over. But, you know, when he said that about parents, about children, you know, forgive your parents, you know. I was a young mother, and I might not have done everything the right way. But what I thought was interesting the other night was the night after graduation. I know my baby wanted to spend time with me. She wanted to do something, and we weren't able to do a whole lot because she also has another child. He's a year old, just turned a year old. So it's not as easy to just drop your children off. So it wasn't like we was able to go somewhere and like turn up, right? But I was like, you know what? I'm going to tough it out. I do have to be to work in the morning. Got to get up at 4 o'clock and get to work. But I'm going to spend as much time as I can with her because I know this is what she wants. This is my big baby. Y'all, the big baby. And she was sitting there. She wanted to go live. She has been enjoying my channel. Shouts out to everyone that always make her feel so welcome when she's in the chat. But she enjoys doing the lives with me. And we don't live close. And, you know, she enjoys doing the lives. And she really wanted to go live. And she's trying to get the baby boy to sleep. And it was funny. She sat there. She say, oh, she was tired. You know, me and her, we was sipping. And she say, you know what? I couldn't understand why my mom was always fussing about something, or she don't like something we did. But now I totally understand, because I just wish y'all go to sleep. Because mama want to relax. And I was just like, oh, that just warmed my heart. And that is the joy that I get out of motherhood. For them to understand. And I want them to be better. And I'm not perfect, but I think I'm a better person in life than I've ever been, ever, with either of them. And even the person that I am today, I want them to be better than the person that I am today. And you know, and people have always told me that I'm so hard on my girls, but it's because I know the potential, and I see the potential, and I understand the potential that was instilled in them. Their dad was a hard-working man. And you know, he might not have had all these degrees and all of this, but you know what? He was a provider. And he went and he got it. And I appreciate him to this day. He's not here to see their accomplishments, but I know he's looking over them. And he's seeing it, and he is smiling in heaven, and he telling somebody up there about his babies, and he joking about it. He probably telling them all these wonderful stories that he have about his girls. But you know, y'all, I just wanted to come to you and just share my little life experience. And you know, and I appreciate all the congratulations that you guys gave to my daughter. I look forward to her continuing her education and excelling in life and in her profession. And, you know, I want to thank you all again. And it gets greater later. And until next time, my good people,